All right, I think we are ready to get going, everybody. Hello, I am Jeff Byers, Park Property Management Solutions Business Development Manager, and today we are going to be talking about accidental landlords. Yay! Everybody be excited about that. We'll talk some terms, we'll go over how accidental landlords come to be, and what options you have when you are looking long term when you have this type of investment. So let's dive right into the subject matter and let's talk about what an accidental landlord actually is. So, for one reason or another, you have ended up with a property that you may not be living in full time. It's probably something that's secondary to you, and you've either had to move for a job, which created a home where you were, and now you're living in a home somewhere else. You've had a death in the family or divorce, which has created an extra home, and for one reason or another, you are now in charge of that. Well, there are a lot of things going on in your head right now, and you probably don't know exactly what you want to do, how things are supposed to go, and usually accidental landlords get it in their head that every person that owns an extra property wanted to be like that. They went in intentional, and that's usually just not the case. There is education that can help you feel a lot better about things, look towards the future, and create smart, actionable plans to create a better ROI, which is return on investment, with the property you're now sitting on. So let's talk shop. You have moved, you've gone through a divorce, you've had a death in the family, you've got this house now, and you are thinking, well, I'm just going to rent it out. I'm going to get some money, start working towards the equity more on it, and you just kind of devise a plan for yourself. And that's great if you are really good at systems. You're going to have the time to be able to do that. Otherwise, things can really stack up quickly, especially if you're not making an action plan towards what your 12, 18-month goals are going to be initially with the home. And so let's go over just a couple of things that people will oftentimes think about and maybe even forget about as they're going into year one of being an accidental landlord. So, like I just said, I'll just rent it out. The mortgage will be covered. We're going to be okay. Well, that is in a lot of terms probably true, but you need to make sure that you're planning ahead. Usually the way that we see things with renters and landlords is as the rents come in, it's a really good idea to keep a portion of that off to the side. So if you need to get a new washer or a dishwasher, that is, or a new range, or there's something wrong with the plumbing, or a toilet decides that it's going to die, you have reserves in place in order to be able to handle that without having to take it out of your normal day-to-day life stuff. And late night calls, the maintenance decisions, tenant issues, and legal compliance and pressure, those are probably the biggest pillars of concern that people have when they find themselves being an accidental landlord. At Park Property Management Solutions, even if we don't get your business right out the gate, we want to give you education so that you can make the right decisions for yourself. And we love to see people who are accidental landlords get enough education that they become active investors and utilize what they already have to grow and build their future through real estate. So if you have any questions about these, or if anything comes up in this as a topic, hit me up. I'd love to talk to you more about it, get you in front of the people that can help you understand your situation a little bit better. And that's really what it is. We're a team, so we can get you connected with wholesalers and hard money lenders and people who can plan for your exit if that is the case, or how to be able to take what you've already got, add to where you want to be. So that is a big thing. So those tenant issues, we help a lot with tenant placement, not just being able to verify income, because anybody can put down certain thing into Chat GPT or another type of thing, get themselves a W-2. We go in depth. We do a deep seek. We make sure that income verification is real, credit score is real, that they have the rents available and are inside of where they need to be to qualify for the home. And we onboard them really well so that there aren't any hiccups, no red flags as you're going through the process. We're here to help, and it's not just for the owner, it really is for the tenant. We want everybody to be successful. Common mistakes that you'll make early on, a pricing emotionally instead of off by market. So we're happy to jump in and give you a rental comp. We'll look at 30 or more houses in your area if those comps are available. We'll give you the top 10 and kind of show you where your house sits. We have a really good report about that, and I'd love to go line item with you in regards to that so that you know that you're getting the correct rents, not so much the top dollar rents, but you're getting the correct rent for where you are and the type of tenant that that you're looking for. Underestimating the tenant screening, we just talked about that in detail. It's very important to ensure that you know everything about the tenant that you're supposed to know prior to onboarding them, before getting under contract with them, and that's where we help out. Trying to manage everything alone, we have a great maintenance team all throughout the country. So we are in 4 markets, and we really have this dialed in. Our maintenance and vendor lists are super strong. We're happy to share those with you, even if you're not one of our clients. And we love to support and push forwards the small businesses that are supporting our communities and supporting the landlords that we work with. These aren't bad decisions to make. If you are thinking about keeping a home that you just have ended up with, this is a great time to talk shop with us. Let us look at things as a whole, give you some insight on what we see. And the core of it all is being an accidental landlord doesn't mean that you are failing at anything. If you're getting overwhelmed by the processes, don't sweat it. Everybody does. And don't believe for a second that everybody that goes into investing or real estate knows what they're doing. It is always on a spectrum. You're always learning as you go and growing. And make sure that you fail forward. So that is a big thing. But we would love to talk to you more about this. If you're an accidental landlord, you'd like more information, if you'd like us to take a peek at your situation with your rental comps, we're happy to do it. Talk shop, get you some coffee, take you to lunch, and introduce you to the people that you need to know. But everybody be safe, be sane, have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.